you all have this. Um, but thank you all for coming and joining us today. I'm Tim. I'm the product manager for the Hospice SLO team, and I'm a third year computer science major. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to kind of show you all what we've been working on these past 2 quarters. But yeah, we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves for now. And so I'll pass it on to Mandy.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm a second year graphic communication student and I'm the designer on this project. And I'll pass it off to Cole.
Hello, I'm Cole. I'm a third year software engineering major and I'm the technical lead for this project. So kind of just being responsible for the, technical side of the app. And I'll pass it off to Vance.
Hi, I'm Vance. I'm a second year software engineering major, and I'm one of the software developers on this team. And I'll pass it off to Jonathan now.
Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan. I'm a third year software engineering major, and I'm also one of the web developers on the team. And next, I'll pass it on to Sage.
I'm Sage. I'm a first year computer science major and I'm one of the developers on the team, and I'll pass it off to Skylar.
Hi, I'm Skylar. I'm a first year computer science major, and I'm also one of the software developers on the team. And I'll pass it off to Ben.
Hi everyone, I'm Ben. Also a first year computer science major. I'm a developer on the team as well. And finally, I'll pass it off to Marissa.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm a second year software engineering major, also one of the developers on the team.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think we'll kind of jump into our demo now. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, feel free to just type them in the chat. And then we'll also leave some time for questions at the end. And you can also just shoot us with questions whenever, later on, if you find that you have a question a week later. Yeah, I think we can just go ahead and get started now.
And I'm actually going to give a quick overview of what this demo is going to look like. And there's kind of 2 parts to our app. There's the administrative side where you can create new vigils and export some vigil data and stuff like that. And we're going to go ahead and do that first. And then after that, we're going to show just the volunteer side of things and the doula side of things. So just kind of how you're going to sign up for a shift. I guess a way to message the other doulas and stuff like that. But yeah, there's going to be kind of 2 distinct parts that we kind of demo. With that being said, I'm going to hand it off to Marissa. She's going to start screen sharing and she's going to actually go over the first part of the app. And again, this is the admin side of things right now. So if that's not your forte, this was not an important part to take notes at.
All right, thank you, Cole. Okay, so this is the first page that you're going to see when you log on as an administrator. So this is where you're going to see all the discussions, which we're probably going to be pertaining to any vigils that may be going on or announcements. If you want to create a new discussion, you can click the plus button. And then you can type in any title that you want here, any title. And then you can click create. And then that will create a new discussion and it will be automatically pinned to the top of the page. And then you can click on any of these discussions to see any messages that anyone has posted in here. So you can see the most recent one is posted by Cole at the top of the page. And if you want to add your own message, you click the plus button again, and then you can write any message here. And then you can post your message, and then you will see your message at the top of the screen. And if you want to delete your message, you can just click the trash can. It will ask for confirmation, and then you can just press OK, and your message will be deleted. Going back, you have some options here. If you're in the admin account, you can click the dots, and then you can unpin the discussion, and it will just be sorted down at the bottom here. And then if you want to repin the discussion or any of these, you can just pin it, and it'll go back up to the top. You can edit the title to some different title. And then you can click done and it will change the title. And then if you want to delete a discussion, you can click the dots again and then you'll press delete and then the discussion will be deleted. That's about it for discussions. I think I'll pass it off now to Vance, and he will talk about the schedule.
Thanks, Marissa. So this next thing I'm going to be sharing is the schedule, and this is going to be a visual organizer for all the vigils that you'll be holding. So in order to get to the schedule, you're going to click on these 3 bars here, and these are all the different pages you can visit. So you'll click on schedule, and it'll take you to this calendar here. So right now we just have a couple example vigils. Each kind of like calendar event is a different vigil. And if you click on one, it will actually show you details like what day it is, what times, and then if you write any like important notes, it will show up. And then if you go to them, we'll already show like who signed up for the vigil. So like on this page here, so on May 24th, so Ben's other clone already signed up for the vigil from 6 to 9. So that's already covered, so no one else would have to sign up then. And if you click on these, it will show like little contact information if you want to get in contact with anyone. And then one of the like admin features is that you can block off a shift. So let's say like a family requests that no one like attends the vigil from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then I would click the date, which is May 24th here. And then the starting time would be 9 a.m. And then the ending date would be 10 a.m. And then I just click block off here. And now whenever anyone clicks this, they'll see the little blocked off icon here, which just means nobody should be signing up for a shift then because the admin decided for whatever reason that this section's kind of blocked off. So next I want to cover how to add an event. But did someone say something? Or sorry, okay.
Yeah, there's a question that asked, are the notes in the schedule section made by anyone or just the admin? And to that, I'll say the notes kind of initially are made by the admin, just when a vigil is created. We encourage using the discussion feature that Marissa just went over for kind of adding additional notes or comments regarding a specific vigil or topic. Sorry for cutting you off there, Vance. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's hard for me to see the chat sometimes. So I guess to answer that question, I'm going to show how to add an event. So this is also an admin only feature. So if you're just a doula, you can't add an event, but you can like sign up to like volunteer at a vigil. So this is where you would put the notes. This is where like admin would put notes for the vigil. So you'll start off just by putting in the location and then the start date. So let's say this is a vigil from Saturday and it's only on Saturday. So the start and end date are going to be the same. And then you can pick the start time. So let's say that it starts at 9 a.m. Oh. I decided it didn't want to be 9 a.m. right then. Okay, I guess it's going to be 8 a.m. And then let's say it ends at noon, so 12 p.m. And then this is what you were talking about. If you wanted to add notes, I can just type an important note here. And then all you have to do now is just click add vigil. And then if you look here on Saturday, there's now a new vigil. And if I click it here, I can see the note that I wrote. And then a couple other smaller features, also admin only. You can edit the vigil. So let's say instead of 12, you want it to last until 2 p.m. Then all you have to do is just click update vigil. And now see the event's longer and it goes until 2 p.m. And then one final thing is if you want to, you can delete the event. I don't want to here, but if I clicked OK, it would go off the calendar and no one else would be able to sign up. And one final thing to note is whenever you create a new vigil, it's like this is at 600 Pear Street. If I go over to the discussion section and I refresh the page, we'll talk more about refreshing later. There's actually a discussion page here corresponding to that vigil. And the name of the discussion is just going to be the location that it's at. So that covers most of the main features for the admin for the schedule. I'm going to look at the chat right now. Can the vigil be open-ended? Off the top of my head, I don't think so. I think you have to provide a starting date and an ending date. But you can just make it really wide if you want to and just be, and that would kind of provide a similar effect. And then in the notes, you can say when you want people to show up, but you do have to provide a starting date and an ending date. And I think that's pretty much it. So now I'll hand it off to Jonathan and he's going to talk about the contacts page.
Thank you, Vance. So as you can see here, I've navigated to the contacts page, and here is where you'll find kind of all the contact information of all the volunteers or doulas. So here, what it shows is the name, their email, and their phone number. And their email and phone number are actually clickable. So once you click on them, it will take you to kind of a messaging app, so you can text them directly. So let's say I want to reach out to Ben, I can click here, click allow, and then it'll open a little text box here for me to reach out to him. And same thing for the email. Another feature of the contacts page is you're able to search through all the different volunteers. So if I want to look for myself, for example, I can just type my name. And as of right now, you can only look up people by name. So here, as you can see, I'm looking for Jonathan. In addition to that, you're also able to update your own account information. So if you take a look back here, my number is this right now. And then let's say I wanted to change it to another number, like I get a new phone or something, I can just click on that update contact information button and then enter my new number and then click update phone. And you can see a little success message here that it confirmed that it changed. So now if I reload my page, so that it gets updated, and search myself again, my number is updated. So now moving on, there's also a admin only feature for contacts page, and that's this button up here, the export button. And what this does when you click it is it will basically download a CSV file, kind of a spreadsheet like file of all the contact information on basically every volunteer. So here I have it opened up already in Excel. So as you can see here,
I don't think we can see your Excel. I think you're just sharing your.
Oh, sorry. Let me fix that really quick. All right. So yeah. So I opened the file, and now this is the Excel sheet. You see here, it's my name, email, phone number, very organized format. Now moving back on into the app. I would like to brief on one more thing before I move it on. So here, as Vance was talking about earlier, as admins, you're able to block off shifts. So here is where you'll see which shifts are blocked off for certain times. Like for example, if family members have to come and visit, etc. Here's where you'll see all those blocked off shifts. So yeah, that's basically a little introduction to the contacts page, and then briefing about the blocked off shifts page. And next I'll hand it off to Ben.
Awesome, thanks, Jonathan. So next I'll briefly be talking about another feature for the admin page. So we click back up onto the menu here, we'll see the last page on the admin view, which is the past history page. This page is only available to admins, so no doulas will be able to access any of this information. So when you come to this page, you'll see a list of all the current and past vigils listed by their location. So if I click on a certain vigil here, if there's no past shifts that have been signed up yet, it's just going to give you a little message letting you know that there's no history, no data to look at here. So if we go back here, we click on a vigil that does have some data, it'll give us this nice table here that shows each volunteer and their shift that they signed up for, providing the date and the time they signed up for as well. And then we can also, again, sort of like the contacts page, export the data here. It'll download a little CSV file. And if we open this up in Excel real quick, that'll give us this nice formatted data showing, again, each individual shift, the address, date, time, and then the duration as well. So you don't have to calculate that data yourself.
No.
So if we go back here, that's kind of the end of the admin view. You can go ahead and sign out here. I'll be handing it off to Cole. He's going to kind of introduce us to the user side of things and signing up for an account.
Thank you, Ben. And here's kind of also the transition I was talking about, where everything before this was kind of specific to admins, but now this is kind of like what the majority of the doulas will actually interact with. We're going to kind of be talking about just kind of the
Before you go there, would you be able to just go back to the admin menu and so drop down but everything in the admin menu is only allowed to be changed by admin, is that right? Because it looked like you said a couple of things that anybody could do, like there was a place in the schedules that you could make notes and things, and so like when you show, I guess what I want you to do is show like when the app opens, and then where do you go to the admin, and then where you would go to the other, and then where the drop down menus are going to be.
I suspect that a lot of your questions regarding this will be answered when they show us the
when it gets going. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
I'll also say that you'll either have an admin account or a non-admin account, and depending on how you sign up with which account, that'll kind of depend on what you end up seeing, I guess, on your page. I'll go ahead and share my screen now and kind of show you guys how to like log in and sign up for a thing. So here's kind of just the landing page for all of this. So as you'll see, there's a way to sign up. If you already have an account, you can just enter in your email address, and the email address you use to sign up will end up being your username and then your password. And then if you already have an account, it'll load the page and it'll take you there. And then you can also sign out. But now I'm going to talk a little bit about creating an account. And what that'll look like is it'll ask you for a few certain things, like your name, which is you want to input your full name. It'll ask you for your email account and your phone. And if one of them isn't incorrectly, you'll get a nice message. Yeah, and then there's a few other things. There's a question in the chat regarding like how we have to like input the contact info each time. And you'll just have to do it here when you create an account initially, and you shouldn't have to do it anytime beyond that. But now I'll go ahead and enter in a email. And a phone number. And this phone number can be include your area code or not. It doesn't really matter. If you do have an area code that's not an 8051, it would be beneficial. But it's not like mandatory. And then you want to go ahead and add a password, which has to be just 6 characters long, and you have to re-enter it to make sure it's the right one. And then once that happens, you can go ahead and click the create account, and it'll kind of take you to the I guess the non-admin side of things, where you don't have like a blocked off shifts or anything like that. And it'll look a little bit differently. And whenever you create an account, it'll default to a non-administrator account. So that'll just kind of be the default for a lot of you. And if you need an admin account, you'll have to, I don't think you all are planning on just having one admin is the current plan, but if you'd like to add one, you'd have to reach out to us and we can get that sorted out. And then one other feature we have is a forgot password one. And what that'll look like is a way to, you input your email account if you know it. And once that happens, you click the reset password button, and that'll go ahead and send you a email to the email address you entered, giving you an option to just reset your password. Basically, it'll just send you a link, and you go ahead and put that your new password, go ahead and click save, and then you'll have to actually navigate back to the app, and it should be refreshed for you. So now you can go ahead and log in with that new password. And then that I just entered in the new password there just to show that it should be working. And yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Skylar, and she's gonna talk about the discussions that a non-admin will see.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so this discussion site is pretty similar to the admin site. You just have a little less control. So for example, I go to announcement, there's already some messages here. Let's say I want to announce something. I say hello, pretty similar, click post, and it should be posted. If say I want to delete my message, I will click on that trash can, click OK to confirm, and it should be deleted automatically. Now, one thing here is to know is that if somebody else is on the same page you are and they post a message, you would have to, and you're already on the page, you would have to reload the page for the message to show up. But otherwise, if you're posting, it should show up automatically. I'm not sure why this has not been deleted. That might be a bug, but we'll look into that later. And if a discussion post is still blank, there's no messages, it will show that there are no messages yet. And this discussion post is more for like, if you want something, if you have something to communicate to the next vigil, like you'll have to be leaving 20 minutes early. This is where you post your messages. If it's an urgent message though, you should actually be looking for the person's contact information and contacts. And I will be passing it off to Sage.
Okay, let me share my screen here.
Can I just interject for a second? So regarding the doulas, just to explain the announcement page, each vigil will have its own discussion page. So that is where we will communicate about the vigil in real time. So 203 Meadow Drive, that's where we're going to provide updates about what's going on with that vigil, that family, that situation. But then additionally, there's another, that's also the area where we can start other discussions like what's going on with Anelda, or what are the new updates with medical aid and dying? Like we can have other ongoing discussions unrelated to vigiling. So this should be cutting out any like email discussions or anything. It's all contained in the app.
So Shannon, just so I'm clear, oh, go ahead, Susan.
Just real quick. So the announcement, each vigil has its own discussion page, but the announcement that she just clicked on is more global. It's for, yes. It's not tied to a particular vigil. Okay, thank you.
Yes. That's my question too. Okay.
Yes.
And then if somebody dies, would we just make that an announcement as opposed to a discussion on that vigil? Because that's kind of like the
all announcements related to the vigil go on that vigil announcement.
Okay.
Because my understanding, and sorry if I'm cutting somebody off, is you can choose to be notified for updates on that vigil, or you can choose not to if you're not participating in that vigil.
Okay, so discussion is vigil specific and announcement is generic.
Is that correct? That's okay. What I understand too. And how do we, have we seen how to be notified or not? Have we seen
No.
that part yet? Okay.
No.
And I'll actually cut you guys off. We actually don't have that feature yet. We looked into it a little bit and it was a little bit trickier to add. We'll look into it a little bit more now that we like realize it's a really like desired feature. And yeah, but we won't be presenting that right now because just we
Got it.
didn't know that was something that we 100% needed to add.
Fair enough. And, you know, whether that works or not, it's fine. It should be okay because people can, if they're tracking the vigil, they should be able to just go to that page and see what's going on. And that's our responsibility to do as doulas, is to check in before we are going to go to a home to see what's been going on. But it would be helpful to have a notification feature.
And Shannon, this site is designed to be secure and HIPAA protected and all that, right? So would it be easier if that's the case to name a vigil by the individual's name rather than an address?
It is not HIPAA compliant,
Okay,
but it is, you know, password protected.
okay.
Yeah. And also kind of just going off that, we also kind of just encourage you to kind of try to avoid kind of using like any like sensitive info on the app, just for the sake of, you know, security reasons. It's not like, you know, it's secure in that sense, but just in case, because we're not like cybersecurity experts, we definitely just kind of encourage you to avoid putting like personal info or anything like that as well.
Yeah, that's why we decided to use the location of the vigil, the address as the name of each vigil, so that because that's a key piece of information, right? You need to know where you're going.
Okay.
If there's not any questions, I think Sage will go back to where we left off, and that's going to be talking a bit about the schedules and how you'll sign up for a vigil, a shift, I guess, in a vigil.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen very quick to discuss how you'll the scheduling for the non-admin end. And first off, I'm going to show you how you'll sign up for a shift. So you click one of these dates here, and then you could find a time that's not blocked off, of course. And you could put the start date. I'm just going to put the 25th, May 25th, and then end date, the 25th. And I'm just going to have it from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So let me find 8 a.m. here. I'll just do that just for example, and then I'll just do that here. Click sign up, and then if you refresh the page and go back to the date you had, this is my account name, John Jones, so you'll see the name of the person, and then you could click them to get more additional information. And then if you decide you want to drop a shift, you could just click here, drop shift, and it'll delete you from that. So that being said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and look at the chat just in case there's any questions. Okay, I think there's no.
I think going forward, it would be helpful to have the ability to have different colors for different addresses for us. That way, if we had multiple vigils going on, even though they're different addresses, I think it'd be easier to see in the scheduling.
What about if you just had color for those active vigils to show them as being active as opposed to past vigils?
Yeah, we could definitely like possibly add that as a feature. It doesn't seem like something too hard we could add. That being said, if there's not any more questions about that part of the app, I'm going to pass it on to Ben, and he's going to discuss the past shifts feature.
All right, thank you, Sage. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. So if we head back over to the menu here, users will be able to click on this past shifts page. It's a pretty simple page. It's just going to show you every shift that you've signed up for in the past and just list them one by one. It'll give you the title of vigil that you signed up for, the day that your shift was, and then the times you signed up for. So it's important to note as well that it's split up by individual shift. So as you can see here, my account is signed up for 2 separate shifts on Kiwi Lane. So it'll split those up into different shifts that I signed up for. And this is just a good way for you doulas to keep track of what you signed up for in the past and what you may have done previously. So with that being said, I'll pass it off to Jonathan to talk about the last aspect of this user side of the page.
Thank you, Ben. All right, so here I am logged in as a non-admin, as you can see here. So the contact page looks very similar like the admin one, except for there's no export button, since that is a only admin only feature. And the same thing goes, you can look up for a specific volunteer. You can click on the numbers and contact information to directly reach out to them. And here I'll kind of show how you update your email, for instance. So and then you get another success message here, and then navigating around, you can see that my if I reload my app, it should now be updated. So that's kind of the contacts page. Wrapping up for the non-admin side. Next, I will briefly kind of talk about and share kind of the phone version of the app. So I have it loaded on my iPhone here. If I could just get that sharing. So yeah, now I'm sharing off my iPhone. So here I am on just a web browser, Safari, and I'm putting the link here, and I could. This is basically what it looks like on kind of the phone version, just to give a sense of what it will look like. So I can log in here with my credentials. And as you can see here, basically looks just like the desktop version. However, it is much more kind of condensed, kind of on the sides here. But same thing, you can navigate through discussions, add discussions, make messages, announcements. For the schedule, it's a little more condensed. It only shows a day by day, but you can, with this arrow on top, you can kind of go through, and then you can here show that you can sign up for shifts down here. And I'll kind of take you through the rest of the pages here. So past shifts, contact information here. And then, yeah, I'll sign back out. And yeah, that's kind of showing you a little sense of the phone version of the app. Next, we'll pass it back to Cole.
Okay. Put a pin on each active. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the chat right now. And they're actually, a good thing about this app is you don't actually need to like download anything. You can just go to a website. I'll send it in the Zoom chat for y'all to take a look at right now. But you just go to that link, and once you log in or create an account, you should be able to use it. And then putting a pin on each active vigil, that might be simpler than changing colors. Okay, we can think about the best way to do that too as well.
So no, that's putting the pin, that's regarding the discussions. So the pin makes the discussions at the top of the list, which is, yeah, any active vigils, there'd be a pin in it. So it's like top, but what we're talking about, the different colors, is actually on the schedule, so that if we had more than one vigil, we would be able to hone in on, you know, I want to make sure I sign up for the Los Osos vigil and not the Arroyo Grande vigil. So that's why the colors would be just to help hone in on what I'm signing up for.
Okay, yeah, the only thing I was thinking is that there's two different uses for the colors. And I was trying to figure out how you get an active vigil up at the top so that we don't waste time with the ones that are past. Or do the past ones get deleted at some point?
Yeah, they would. But there's two, so for the—
Because it's like, looks like a calendar, right? So.
Okay, but I think we're talking about two different things here.
Oh.
So there's the announcement page, the threads, right. And those old vigils can be down below, and the active vigils would have a pin in them, so they're at the top. So
Right.
anything active would be at the top. On the calendar, yeah, the calendar is where it would get confusing if there's multiple vigils for signing up to make
Got
sure,
it.
yep, that we're
Okay.
signing up for the correct location and vigil. And yeah, because if for those people who aren't laser focused and paying attention, they might accidentally, you know, sign up for the wrong home, and then there's massive confusion.
Hey, Shannon, is this supposed to take the place of the binder that we used to have at the vigil, at each vigil?
So the binder will still exist. We'll talk about all of this later.
Okay, but I just need to know where I put discussions that are private that we don't want the client to see, but yet you're saying this app isn't private enough to put those in?
No, this, yes, you wouldn't put private discussions in the binder. This is where we would put private discussions.
Got
where
it.
we
Okay.
would say something about, you know, explaining a dynamic going on with the family.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
And then now's a good time to open it up for any questions that y'all have. If I'm sure there's a bunch. First time
Well,
seeing
we've-
something new can always be challenging, so feel free
No,
to
this
ask as
really,
many questions.
Cole, this seems really user-friendly and pretty straightforward, I think. And I think you guys did a terrific job, and we so appreciate. Yeah, it's just amazing. This is exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe what we were working with before. This is episodes higher. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all. This is great.
As we fool around with it and have questions, what's the best way for us? Should we contact you directly, or do we feed them all through one person, or who do we send our little questions and help requests to?
Put my email in the chat.
Shannon.
You can do Shannon, or you can also email this as well if you have anything. For the email.
Okay.
Yeah, you would start with staff to see if we can you know, support you through it, and then if it's a bigger issue, I'll contact him and let him know that we need some kind of tweak.
Yeah, I think until we actually get into using it, we won't actually know if there is a glitch someplace.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember, guys, you're dealing with a lot of old fogies here. At least sometimes when it comes to this, I feel like an old fogey. So
I can tell they knew their demographic when they said, when you forget your password, here's how you go through.
Thank you. I'll echo what Beth just said, that we're very grateful for what you've done and put into this. And of course, like any new thing, it'll sort of sift out as we get used to using it. But it looks very easy to use to start with. So thanks again, and I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
I'm curious if you all had a nickname for the program while you were working on it.
I don't think so.
We just called it the application or the app.
Could I ask what sort of a program or units credit that you guys are working on through this project, or what specific class or advisor or anything?
Yeah, it's actually not for anything. We actually it's just for a student-run club.
Okay.
So right now we're working with like 6 nonprofits this year. And so we have a project team for each one, and we're building software like this for all of them.
Thank you guys for helping us.
Wow. Yeah.
The club is called Hack for Impact.
Oh, I wondered about Tim's email. That's great. Hack for Impact.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm wondering if any of you have questions about the work that we do, or what your experience was like working on something that really revolves around dying, and if that had any impact on you at all. No pressure.
I think I'll say that it's important to kind of just like realize that we're helping out you all, and this is really just for you all to make your lives easier and just kind of like have a bigger overall impact. So we didn't at least I can only speak for myself, but I tried not to think about how it can get a little bit bleak at times, but I think we were all able to put a finger on the fact that it was making an impact, and that was kind of like a driving force for us.
It's a tremendous impact, because this allows us to focus on the families and the people, so that we're not scrambling to figure out how to communicate with our team. We can send out our message and then be present, and that makes all the difference. It really does.
Yeah, is it ready for us to start practicing with now?
Yeah, that's a great like kind of transition. Obviously you guys are all free to like ask any more questions if they come up while we're talking about it. But I do want to kind of briefly touch on kind of the relationship between us as Hack for Impact and you all as Hospice of SLO. I think it would be very great for you guys, like if there's a vigil going on like now or upcoming pretty soon, it would be great to kind of use it as like a trial, or kind of even just create in like a test one, so that you guys are all comfortable using it when the time actually comes. And the earlier you guys come to us with kind of like features or kind of like requests or complaints about this, that's kind of better for us because we don't want to keep working on this like into the summer during our break, and we want to try to like have a lot of this, I guess a lot of the big things that are the big features that you guys want added, we want that to occur during the school year. And so there's kind of like 3 weeks, I think, for that. So if you guys could like all try to like test it out, maybe like create your accounts, and see if you guys like have any more questions, or like if you think there's missing features, again, reach out to Shannon about that, and then she can reach out to Tim, and then we can, if that's a feature that's missing or needed, we can get that added. And then I guess kind of after the school year, you guys are hopefully going to keep using this application for a long time to come. However, we all are all students, and as a organization, Hack for Impact, we work with a lot of nonprofits. We're working with like, I believe 5 others this quarter, and that continues kind of like every school year. We work with some new ones. So we tried to design this app as to something that kind of can keep being used in the future. However, I guess if you guys want like a new feature, or if something comes up maybe like 3 years from now that you think would be nice to have, it's probably pretty unlikely that we'll be able to get around to that. However, if there are ever any like bugs or glitches or just things that you think are our like fault, or like we're at issue for, that make this hard to use or make it impossible to use, that's still on us and is our responsibility. So that's something that you should reach out to Shannon, and then she'll reach out to one of us, and we can get those like bugs or glitches fixed.
And also just going off that, one other thing as well, like Cole mentioned, kind of down the road, if you find that application just feels dated and you kind of need kind of a whole new set of like features or changes, we always leave the option of taking on projects that we've done in the past and kind of rebuilding it or changing it in like a pretty drastic way. So there's always ways to pitch us for ideas for change, like updating your project or something as well. And, like Cole said, with any issues that come up, like, we definitely encourage you to all reach out. We try to do our best to fix these bugs. And one of the big things we did this year was we're teaching all project teams kind of like the basic same programming languages, so that 4 years down the road, hopefully when we're not here, someone in the organization, everyone will know the same languages and be able to look into this application and say, oh, here's the issue, and kind of help you there.
Great.
Sweet. I think that might be it for us, right?
Yeah, thank you all so much. This is huge for us.
We're super excited. You have no idea how much easier this is gonna make our life and our work, not having to spend time doing all this communication stuff.
Thanks again. Enjoy your what's left of your weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Wait.
And really, thank you guys for Hack for Impact. I just think that's so cool that you guys are, you know, have this little club that's doing stuff for the community. It's wonderful.
Who's your advisor?
Our advisor, she's a professor for computer science. Her name's Teresa Migler. Yeah, she also.
If you guys ever need recommendations, let us know.
Thank you.
There we go.
I appreciate that.
Sweet. With that being said, I think we're all wrapped up here then. You know, I'll have this video and this recording, and I'll send it to Shannon so she can share it with you all if you want to look over it again. And then again, like, feel free to reach out to us with any issues or anything. And we're happy to help.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.